Hello viewers, welcome to my YouTube channel Curiosity Wax, and this is a BookTube video about two partner books. Now, a book that really entranced me when I was in primary school, and whenever the mobile library came I used to get it out of the mobile library. Every time I went on the mobile library it was some of us would get the chance to go on the mobile library bus and pick some books out for the class, and I always got these books out, and I think I was the only one who read them, and it was the Treehorn books. And there's this story called The Shrinking of Treehorn, and it's about Treehorn who one day discovers that he's shrinking, and each day he gets smaller and smaller, and everybody starts being really annoyed with him for shrinking, and each day he shrinks a little bit more and a little bit more, and everybody is just annoyed that he's shrinking. And then he carries on shrinking until at the very end of the story he finds a game under his bed, starts to play it, and he starts to grow again. Now this year I found out about this book, The Tiny Wife by Andrew Kaufman, and it's about this, it's a mad fantasy, it's about this bank robber, but he turns up, but he doesn't want money, he wants something that's personally valuable to each person in the queue. And in this book both books have amazing illustrations, and in this book it has silhouette illustrations, and in the queue he gets to this guy's wife, and she gives the thing of sentimental value to him, and this causes her to start shrinking, and her and her husband start measuring how much she's shrinking, and it's like a sort of fable, and she keeps shrinking and shrinking and shrinking, and then at the end of the book there is sort of an understanding between her and her husband, and at the end of the book we discover that she's starting to grow again. So that is very in parallel with The Shrinking of Treehorn, so I recommend these as partner books, that you read The Shrinking of Treehorn first and then you read this one. So I'll read the back of this one. A robber charges into a bank with a loaded gun, but instead of taking any money he steals an item of sentimental value from each person. Once he has made his escape, strange things start to happen to the victims. A tattoo comes to life, a husband turns into a snowman, a baby starts to shit money, and Stacey Hinterland discovers that she's shrinking a little every day, and there is seemingly nothing that she or her husband can do to reverse the process. So I'm not really sure how to analyse the story, and it's a very short story, but I really enjoyed it, and it's like she's shrinking but everything's sort of normal to the husband. He's not like freaking out, that he takes her in his pocket with him when they've got a son, and when they take him to nursery she goes in the car and then she sits on her son's shoulder and talks about what he's done at nursery. So, and that sort of is a bit similar to The Shrinking of Treehorn, where nobody goes bonkers, like nobody's like oh no, how is this physically possible, this can't happen within this world. They're like, oh, you're shrinking, don't be stupid, stop shrinking, and it's like, but he's shrinking, and like they don't care. But with this, obviously the husband cares that his wife is shrinking, and then it's sort of a story that she's shrinking away and fighting with her husband until they sort of come to an understanding and she starts to grow again. So that's why I would partner the shrinking of Treehorn and the tiny wife together as an interesting reading experience. So I'd like to know your thoughts on this book, because I don't really know how to analyse it. It is very fantastical, but it is a very good read. So I hope you have enjoyed this review, and thank you for watching.